Hi, this is Kat with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to show you how to bead weave the Mod Fashionista Bracelet. Now these are featuring the SuperDuo Duets, and these are these little beads right here, and if I can just show you, they have one color on one side and another color on the other side, but they have a nice clean line down the center to kind of make really fun, interesting designs. So this is the bracelet that we're going to be making in this video, and it's using the black and white SuperDuo Duets, and I also have full white and full black, and I'm going to be using Toho seed beads, again in white and black, and I have a magnetic clasp as well. I'm going to be using a size 12 beading needle, and then I'm going to be using FireLine, and this is the smoke color, but for this bracelet I did use the crystal. Go ahead and match your thread to whatever color of beads you're doing this design in, but I'm using the smoke today so that you can really easily see it on my table. And this is 0.006, so it's a size B, and I've already threaded that onto my needle. Before we dive in, I just want to talk a little bit about sizing for this bracelet, so I'm going to grab my ruler here, and I just want to show you that from end to end, it's about 6.5 inches, but you'll notice that the weaving is actually only about 5.5. So the clasp does add about an inch. Now, if you did want to resize that, you'll notice that there are large units and small units, and they alternate. You'll just want to make sure that if you want to add length, that you add evenly, or if you want, you can start with the end lengths and sort of adjust it from there. So those are a few little tips on how to adjust this bracelet to make sure that it fits for you. So let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, on my size 12 beading needle, I have a length of thread about a wingspan, so I'd say about 6 feet. Now, if you need to add more thread, we have a video showing you how to tie off and add new thread, but you might be able to get all of yours in this one pass. So to start, I'm going to bring out some of those SuperDuo Duets, and when you're picking them up, you want to pick them up in order facing the right way, and you'll see what I mean. So let's start, and we're going to pick it up on the white side so that it sits, and then on the black side so that those are nudged together like that. And now pick it up on the white and black, and I'm going to pick up 8 of these. So white and black. 2, 4, 6, and I need 2 more. White and black. So I'm going to bring those all the way down to the end of my thread. Leaving a tail of about 6 to 8 inches or so. We're just going to tie that in later. So I want to just double check that all of mine are facing the right way. This is really important when working with these SuperDuos. So it kind of creates that optical illusion. So now just bring your 2 ends, and you're going to tie a simple overhand knot, bringing those 2 together, just like so. And now tie just one more overhand knot, making sure it slips down right in the center of those beads, and give it a little tug. So now we have a little flower, and you can see why it's so important that those beads sit a certain way. Oops, move my hands out of the way in a second. There we go. So you can see that I kind of have little slivers now of black and white that dance around. So what you're going to want to do is orient your piece so that you have the white going up and down and the black going crossways. So now take your thread, and you're going to go down through 2 beads just to move your thread along a little bit. And you don't want your thread to get all tangled. Oops. Which of course mine just did. Let me just pull that through. There we go. Don't want any knots in our thread. Okay. So now I have my bead coming out one of those white beads there. What I'm going to do is take my needle and go back through the second hole of that first SuperDuo. And because I'm going to be in a black space there, I'm going to add 1 full black SuperDuo and go through that next hole. So to continue, I'm now going to pick up a white SuperDuo because I'm in that white space, and I'm going to go through the next hole. And you're just kind of creating a nice little star here and continuing that optical illusion. Again, pick up a full black SuperDuo and go through the next hole. And I'm just going to continue all the way around, following the same pattern. All right, and I'm coming to that last bead there. And I'm going to go through that black bead, through the SuperDuo Duet there, and all the way through that black bead. And now I'm going to go through the next bead and around through, coming out that white bead right there. So this is what you should have so far. And don't worry about the orientation of where your tail is, but this is what you're gonna want. You're gonna want those black ones, again, continuing that X, and those whites continuing that plus sign. So now, take your thread, coming out the top there, and you're gonna go down through the second hole of that white SuperDuo. And now we're going to do something similar. So we're going to pick up one SuperDuo on the white side. And let me just string that down. So you can see that it's going to sit right up against it, right next to it. And now we're going to pick up one on the black side, one on the white side, one on the black side, one on the white side. Oops, I picked up one too many. Let me just slide this down here. Okay, so I have 4 of those SuperDuo Duets sitting right there. And now I'm going to pick up one white SuperDuo. So I'm coming out the white, and I have 4 of the Duets, and I have 1 full white SuperDuo. And I'm going to slide that down. And now I'm picking up on the white side, on the black side, on the white side, and on the black side. So I have those 4. Slide that down. I'm trying to make this nice and easy for you guys to see how this is going to develop. There we go. So this is what you should have on your strand. And now I'm just going to connect it all and go down through and back around that first white SuperDuo. And pull that all together. So you see how we've sort of made our second little loop. The only difference is that you're adding that white SuperDuo right there. So now just take your thread, and I'm just going to rotate this in my hand just so you can see. And we're going to go all the way through those first 4 duets. And you don't have to go through them all at the same time. You just want to make sure that you keep good tension, not too tight, but good tension. And you're going to go all the way through that white SuperDuo. So we went all the way through those 4, up through that white one, and now we're going to go down, not getting your thread in a little tangle. There we go. All right, and now I'm just going to kind of make sure that that tension stays nice and tight. So this is what we have now. We went through our first one and we had that white SuperDuo, and we went through this, we added that SuperDuo. Now we're going to move on to adding the next unit, and this is going to be a little bit different. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick up a SuperDuo Duet on the white side, and now you're going to string that down. So that it sits, again, that direction. So what you're going to do is take your thread and go up through that black side. So you've sort of created a little bridge. So we went up and down, and now we're coming back up again. And now we're going to make another loop, just as we did the first time, without picking up that white SuperDuo like we did in the second time. So we're going to pick up on the white side, on the black side, white, black, white, and black. So let's see, we have 2, 4, 6, and we're picking up 7 because I already have 1 on there. So we're picking up on the white side. Let me just string all those down towards the end. And now we're going to come around and we're going to close that gap on the other side. So we're just going to go all the way up and through that black bead right there, or the black side of that SuperDuo. And now string through the first SuperDuo going the same way, and go through that second one as well. And again, just sort of making sure that your thread is nice and taut. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create a thread bridge, and we're going to go back around. And we're going to do the same as we did before. I'm in a black space, so I'm going to pick up a black SuperDuo and go through, and I already have the white one, so you're going to see that we're just going to connect that right there. So I'm going through the Duet and the white SuperDuo. And now just continue that thread and go through that next SuperDuo into that black space. I'm just going to rotate it in my hand so I can get a little bit better grip, and pick up a black one and go through. Just keeping that tail out of there. Pick up a white one and go through. Picking up a black. And a white. And you're just going to do this all the way around this unit. And another black one. There we go. And another white one. And now all I have to do is work my thread around. And now my thread's coming out over here, but I need it to be coming out over here. So I'm just going to keep working it all the way around, and this will also help keep the work nice and tight. know there are many techniques to sort of getting your thread where you want it to be, but you can either just keep following your thread path, or you can turn it around on these SuperDuos and kind of go back the way you came, whichever you're more comfortable with. I just kind of like to keep it going the same direction. Hurts my brain a little less. All right, so now we are coming out. Oh, my thread. There we go. All right, let me set this down to kind of show you what's developing here. So this is what your work should look like at the present moment. And now this is just a continuation. I'm going to show you kind of how to add that unit one more time just so you get a chance to see it. But it's just this repeated over and over until you get to the portion of your clasp. So I'm going to show you one more time how to add that unit. So you go up, we're coming up through that white, and you're going to just want to go down through that second hole there. And now pick up a duet on the white side, on the black side, on the white side, and on the black side. And now you're going to pick up one full white duet, or duo, excuse me, and now pick up on the white side, on the black side, on the white side, and on the black side. And you just slide those all the way down. And now bring it together by going through that same hole on that white SuperDuo. And now we just continue to work our thread all the way around. And it's coming up through that white. And I'm going to go down through that second hole there. All right, now I'm going to quickly add one more of the large units, and then I'm going to show you how to do the clasp. All right, so I'm just working my thread around my last unit here. And again, I'm just trying to get to that white bead on the end, and I'll show you how to do the clasp. All right, so now I have my work, and let's say this is as long as I wanted my bracelet. You'll see that I'm ending with two of the large units. So all I'm going to do is take my thread and thread it down through the second hole of that white SuperDuo. And now I'm going to take my clasp, and I'm actually just going to use one half of it. It's easier to show. And I'm going to use about I'm going to use about 4 beads to get me, 3 beads to get me to the end. So I'm going to pick up 3 of the white, slide those down. Now, if you wanted to, this is another area where you could lengthen it. If you wanted to add more seed beads, just if you're working and you just like, oh, I just need an extra 1/4 of an inch, add a couple more seed beads here, and that'll allow you to just lengthen that clasp just a little bit. You can also use a different clasp. I recommend if you want to try using closed jump rings, you can also do that as well. That's another option to sort of make this your own. So string on the clasp, and I'm going to pick up 3 more, and I'm just going to go around and back through that loop of the SuperDuo. And now for a little extra security, just because the thread is the only thing holding that together, I'm just going to retrace my steps and go all the way around again. And all the way back down through that SuperDuo. All right. So now I'm coming out the bottom of that white SuperDuo, and I'm going to start to do the edging. Now, in order to keep the pattern with that sort of really fun, interesting mod angular, what I'm going to do is I'm coming out of a white, so I'm going to pick up 1 white Toho and 1 black, because I'm going into the black. So you'll see that that sort of bridges that little color gap right there. and it follows along right along with that cut of that SuperDuo. So the same thing, just pick up one black and one white because we're reversing it now, and pull that together. One white and one black because we're going into the black. And now what I'm going to do is I'm coming out of the black there, but I'm going to be skipping over and connecting it to that next duo that's right there. So now I need to pick up 2 black seed beads, skip over that one, and connect here. So you see how that just pulls it together? And now, because I'm just doing one, I have a smaller gap, I'm just going to do one white. And now 2 black Toho, because I'm going into the next black one on that side. So it's pulling it together. And you don't want to pull too tight, you'll get it to buckle. So just pull it tight enough so that it's secure, and just keep working your way around. All right, and as I'm coming towards this end here, I'm going to pick up one white, one black and one white. Come here. And I'm going to go through that white SuperDuo. Now I'm just going to flip my work around just because I'm right-handed, so you can see I just kind of, my clasp is over on this side now. And as you can tell, we are coming out the same hole, so all I'm going to do is just go around again and move on back through. So I'm going to pick up 3 white Toho beads. I'm going to string on my clasp and pull that down, and 3 more Tohos. And I'm going to go through just that SuperDuo there. And for security, I'm just going to go through all that one more time. And back and around. And pull nice and tight so it's secure. And now I'm just going to continue, and I'm going to do that same edging all the way back the other side. So pick up a white and a black, go through the black, and a black and a white, white and a black, and now 2 black, going through that next one there. Okay. And you'll start to see it take shape. All right, coming to the last little bit here, and I'm just going to go down through that white bead and up through the next couple that are right there. So now you have your bead weaving all nice and set up. Now one extra step that you can do is you can kind of go through again and just, if you want, just tighten up the edging by going through it a second time, but that's really entirely up to you. So all I have left now is to just tie off my thread. So I'm going to go through a few adjacent beads here. And I'm going to go down into the bead weaving. Go back through that SuperDuo. And now I'm just going to take my thread and go underneath, catching that thread bridge that's in that first loop there. I'm going to go back through and pull snug to tie a knot. Now I'm just going to take that tail and just go down through one bead here. There we go. And I'm going to take my little thread zapper here, heat it up, and just zap off that thread. I don't think I let mine heat up long enough. I was trying to go too fast. There we go. Don't know why that gave me such trouble. There you go. And I'm going to do the same with the other side just to tie off that little tail in the exact same manner. But that is the basic instruction of how to do this technique. So it's really fun, and you can do and explore all the colors of the SuperDuo Duets and make this your own fun little pattern. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can find more supplies and more videos at Beadaholique.com.